How's it going, tiny little hot dog cuties? Ben here, and I know what you're thinking. Ben, where have you been the past 2 months? And the truth is that medical school is just it's rough, guys. It's rough. It's just after my first block, it just got insanely crazy. But that's not the topic we're gonna be talking about today. We'll cover why I've had some hiccups with making videos in later videos. But today we're going to be talking about all-nighters. Do they work? And my personal experience doing all-nighters from high school to college to medical school. Okay? So just to see if does it really work? Okay, so let's just actually break down what an all-nighter is if you've never heard of it before. But to be honest, if you've never heard of what an all-nighter is, you've been living under a rock or something, because practically at one point in your life, in your academic career, you have pulled an all-nighter. But is it healthy? Is it productive? Do you actually score better on tests? Well, statistics and science says no, it actually doesn't. So all-nighters are basically, you don't go to sleep the night before an exam and you just study all day leading up to the exam. You show up to the exam, take the test, leave, and then finally you just knock out dead on your bed because you've stayed up for 24 plus hours studying and you didn't really put much effort into studying whatever subject that you pulled an all-nighter for beforehand. You just did all your studying within the last 24 plus hours. So yeah, according to science, pulling all-nighters are not productive because a lot of your long-term memory is implanted in your brain during sleep. So if you're not sleeping before an exam, whatever it is that you've learned, they haven't been processed fully towards your long-term memory. So even though you've seen the topic, you've read the topic a couple of times during your all-nighter session, when you go and take the exam, you're not going to be able to pull it out as efficiently as you would if you got at least 6 hours of sleep. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes good sense. But I think the true question here is, and why you guys are watching this video, is do all-nighters really work? And do they work through all your academic settings? Will it work in high school? Will it work in college? In your bio courses or like humanities courses? And will it work in your master's programs or your professional programs, whether you want to go to law school, nursing school, medical school? I personally go to medical school, so I can only get that experience, but I'm pretty sure most rigorous higher education post-grad programs have similar levels of difficulty when it comes to the amount of work you have to put in and the amount of things you have to learn. So this is kind of misleading because I've been talking about high school for the longest time in this video, but to be honest, guys, I never studied in high school. Like, I never had to study. High school was just so simple, so straightforward. All the classes, like, literally you learn. You sit in your butt all day, listen to the teacher talk about the topic. And if you listen, what I did in high school is I listened to the teacher. I listened and processed everything that was happening during lecture. I didn't tune out. I wasn't talking to my friends. I wasn't looking at my phone. And I know a lot of people in this generation now have more phones during high school. I mean, like, everybody in my high school had phones, but none of us actually were too actively involved in their phones. So I just sat there, listened to my teacher, and that's all I needed to do. I did my homework and I was ready for the exam. Never had to study. But there are AP exams that I had to take, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there were a couple AP exams I took all-nighters for, and I think I could have scored a lot higher than I did on the AP exam than I would have if I studied maybe like a week prior than I did the day before. So yeah, as far as high school goes, I doubt anyone really does take an all-nighter, because even for my friends who are more of slacker types back in high school, they never pulled an all-nighter either. They either studied the day before, kind of haphazardly, not really getting too into it, but still took the exam and ended up passing. So I think high school all-nighters aren't even, like, they're kind of like a myth. They don't really exist unless, like, you really put off everything. Like, you tuned out during classes, you didn't do your homework, and you waited till the last minute to study. But I don't know anyone who's ever done that. Even like my slackerists and slackerists are friends, and I'm telling you, some of these guys are like, they were big slackers. They like never showed up to school. Even they didn't pull all-nighters in high school. Okay guys, I'm gonna be really honest, my battery's dying right now, so if my clothes change like halfway through this video, it's probably because I have to shoot it at another time, because I haven't touched this camera in forever, and I didn't realize the battery was basically depleted by the time I put on this setup and put up my light and my everything. Now, let's talk about undergrad, college. So in college, I majored in psych for my first year, and then after my first semester, to be honest with you guys, I switched to bio because I felt more passionate about the subject of bio. I loved psych. Psych is amazing. I did 3 years of research in psych. I just liked more sciencey stuff. I like chemistry, I like physics, and like getting my gears turning in that mathematical way, while in psych you have to kind of think of it more like in philosophical ideological way. So those were the 2 reasons why I switched majors. But when I was a psych major, I did pull all-nighters and they were fine. I didn't even have to like stay up the entire time. I stayed up till like maybe 4 or 5 a.m. and I'd go and take the exam and I'd be good. Like I'm done. All-nighters work in psych in college. If I'm gonna be really honest, you can't wait till the last minute for everything. Like, if you pay attention in class but don't really do any form of active studying throughout the unit, but wait till the last day to do some active studying, then I think you can definitely pass your exam by doing an all-nighter. Like, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Just, yeah, you might not even have to do the entire time of studying. Just, and then, like, to be honest with you guys, if I slept at 4, I'm still getting those 6 hours. Like, usually 4 to 6 hours of sleep still. So I think some of that memorization is eventually processed during that short time amount of sleep that I do get before the exam for my psych exams. Another thing about college is that a lot of the courses are not related at all, and you'll never see the course again in your entire life. So there's no need for you to memorize something and retain that information. And I think that's why all-nighters can be so effective in some classes in college, because one, the exams in every unit, they're not cumulative. So you'll be doing one thing in one unit, another completely unrelated thing in another unit, and something else in another unit. And they're not related, and they're not cumulative. So all you have to do is pass the exam. That's all you have to care for. You don't have to care about memorizing everything. You don't have to care about retaining that information. All you have to care about is what your teacher told you, so you can spit it out and regurgitate on your exam. So that's why I think all-nighters can be effective. And the same thing happened with some of my bio courses that I knew I was never going to look back on, like plant biology, or even something like infectious disease. I know now that I'm in medical school, I have to look into infectious disease a lot, but in college we had infectious disease and that was it. Like, there was nothing to build upon that. So there are other courses where I knew I had to study well and retain the information. Like Bio 1, Bio 2, they go together. Bio 1, Bio 2, and Biochemistry, they go together. Chem 1, Chem 2, Biochem, Bio 1, Bio 2, all of them are packed together. So I had to know that information. So I never pulled all-nighters on those things. Maybe in chemistry, because I really kind of hated chemistry a little bit. But I still made sure that I knew the material very well, even though, like, I did some crunch time studying. But I'm really going to be super honest with you guys. It kind of makes you feel like doo-doo butter after you've done the full 24 hours. Like, I felt like complete trash after the exam. Like, I felt like I was gonna die. I needed to sleep at least 36 hours. Like, it's just, in the end, it's just not worth it. Like, if you took 2 days to study maybe like 6 hours each day, you'll be good. You'll be good for the exam in an undergrad course, instead of having to pull the 24-hour marathon that you did earlier. Like, you just feel so bad. And sometimes, like, I remember going through some of my, like, even if I passed the exam and I did well on it, maybe I got an A minus or a B, when I look over the exam, I miss a lot of easy questions because I was just so distracted by how much fatigue I was under. And finally, let's talk about the big daddy-o graduate professional / medical school. Well, I'm a medical student, so I can only speak for that experience, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for other ones, like I've said before. But in graduate school, you're kind of preparing for your life profession. And you kind of have to know everything. Not everything, but a good portion of everything. Every single thing you learn throughout your entire time in that program for you to implement it in your work. So, all-nighters just don't work. And also, everything is cumulative. There's nothing that's not cumulative. Medical school is cumulative. What you see in your first year, you'll see again at the end of your second year. You'll see it again at the end of your fourth year. You'll see it again in practice. Same thing with nursing school. You have to know it. You just have to, or else someone is going to get screwed over and you're going to get sued. So yeah, it doesn't work. Like, I remember for one of my basic principles exams, I did an all-nighter, got the lowest score possible, and I'm not happy with that grade at all. And also when you're in graduate school, you actually want to... Okay, so my battery did end up dying, but I didn't have to change any clothes. I just waited an hour, did some homework, did some review, let the battery charge, and then now we're back. So where were we? Yeah, so in graduate school, like I was saying before, that I wasn't really happy with that one test I did an all-nighter for, because in graduate school, you want to set yourself apart. You want to set yourself into a position where you catch the eye of the professors, they like you, they're gonna write you a good letter of recommendation for whether or not you want to go further in your academic career or you want to get a job. For me, for residency, I need letters of recommendation. I need professors telling me, oh yeah, Ben did an amazing job in my class, earned an A, didn't miss a single question, and I think Ben has the best qualities to be in your program. Same thing goes for any other profession you might want to go to. Letters of recommendations and references are very important. So you want to set yourself apart and be not the cream of the crop, essentially, but you want to put work, effort, and you want that work and effort to show on your exams. And you want people to see those scores, see your work and effort, and say that that person right there has true grit, true merit, and is able to work efficiently and properly at whatever task that they want to do it in. So, lastly, are all-nighters worth it? That's like the question. Like, should you do all-nighters on the regular? And my answer is always going to be no, guys. It's not worth it. Sleep is so important. Like, I value sleep so much. I want to make a separate video sometime in the future all about how important sleep is and how important sleep is to me and how important sleep is to you, because I see dramatic changes in my performance in school, outside of school, in whatever I do, depending on how tired I am and how much sleep I'm getting. So, no, I don't think all-nighters are appropriate on a regular basis. Also, I'm the type of person who wants to see the best in people, and if you're constantly pulling all-nighters, I see you as someone who doesn't want to work hard for what they earn. I want to see someone, and I want to see myself be someone who is constantly on the grind, constantly putting effort and reaping the rewards of those efforts. But yes, in my entire 4 years of undergrad, I may have pulled maybe six most all-nighters. And I took a ton of exams and quizzes and assessments. Out of all my 4 years, I probably only took six, and it was only because there was something that was happening that kept me from being able to study, whether it be something happening with my mental health, something I'm having to cope with because of a significant life event, or there was another class that was draining a lot out of me, so I had to put another class in the back burner. But I never let it become a regular thing. It's something I did as an emergency It should always be an emergency fallback. It's not worth doing it every single time. Like I've said with my psych courses and the non-cumulative classes I took as a bio major, I did not pull all-nighters on all of them. I only pulled it when I needed it to. And I legitimately needed to pull those all-nighters on. Yes, you could do it. I could have done it in every exam, but what does that say about me as a person? It says something, and it's not a good something, you know? And I want you guys to be the best persons you guys can be and reap the rewards, have people acknowledge that you are a hard worker and you're an awesome person. And then I want you guys to spread positivity in the world. I don't want you to guys be lazy, work till the last minute. I want you guys to be productive and do everything that you can. Like, do research, do everything. Put some studying to the side. Study over time. Just knock it out of the park, guys. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Mwah. Love you guys. Sorry for being absent for so long, but I will be kind of updating you guys on what's been happening in my personal life to let you guys know on why I've been taking so long. Love you guys. This has been much love to you guys. Much love.